Tuesday's episode of The Young and the Restless is one of those rare days in Genoa City when every word feels loaded and every glance carries a hidden motive. The calm before the storm? Hardly. This is the storm, swirling around the Newmans, the Abbotts, and everyone caught in their orbit. From Tessa's jaw-dropping revelation to Nikki's blindsiding confrontation and Nick's relentless interrogation, the drama doesn't just simmer, it explodes. Tessa's unexpected confession stuns Sharon. At Crimson Lights, Sharon wipes down the counter, lost in thought about Mariah's recent distance. The coffeehouse hums with quiet morning energy until the door swings open, and in steps Tessa Porter, her expression serious but hesitant. Sharon immediately senses something's off. "Tessa," Sharon greets warmly, though there's a flicker of worry in her tone. "You look like you haven't slept." Tessa hesitates before admitting, "I need to tell you something, before you hear it from someone else." Those words freeze Sharon in place. She braces herself as Tessa explains that she's been keeping a secret, one connected to her latest gig and the people funding her new music project. "It's not just a label," Tessa confesses. "It's Newman Media, and Audra was the one who reached out." Sharon's jaw drops. "You're working for Audra Charles?" Tessa nods, guilt flooding her face. She insists she only agreed because the deal promised full creative control, something rare in the music world, but now she's realizing the strings attached. Sharon, who's learned the hard way how dangerous deals with powerful Genoa City figures can be, warns her, "You know Victor's name is behind everything Audra does. That's not creative freedom, that's a trap." The tension thickens when Sharon wonders aloud if Mariah knows. Tessa admits she hasn't told her yet, terrified of how Mariah will react. Sharon's eyes narrow with motherly concern. "Secrets always come out, Tessa. The longer you wait, the worse it'll get." Before leaving, Tessa says quietly, "There's more to this deal than I understood. And I think I might have walked us both into something dangerous." Her words linger in the air like smoke long after she's gone. Nick corners Phyllis, and he's not playing nice. Over at Society, Nick Newman takes a seat at Phyllis Summers' table, catching her completely off guard. She's sipping her martini and scrolling through her tablet when she spots him. The expression on his face is enough to make her close it fast. "Well," Phyllis starts, "if it isn't the Newman who's not currently blowing up my phone." Nick's tone is sharp. "You've been busy, too busy. You want to tell me what you and Tucker McCall have been scheming?" Phyllis scoffs. "Scheming, please. I've been consulting. That's what adults call it when they get paid to use their brains." Nick isn't amused. He slides a folder across the table. Inside are documents connecting her latest consulting work to a shell company linked to Tucker's European investments, and worse, it overlaps with Newman Media's acquisitions list. "Looks like you've been playing both sides again, Red," Nick says grimly. Phyllis's defiance falters for a moment before she covers with sarcasm. "Oh, Nick, I'd say you've inherited your father's paranoia, but Victor doesn't do surprise visits, he just has people followed." Nick leans in, lowering his voice. "I'm not Victor. But if you're feeding Tucker inside info, I'll make sure every deal you touch turns to dust." There's a brief silence before Phyllis finally cracks. "You think I'd risk my freedom again? After everything, I'm not the same woman I was." "Prove it," Nick replies. "Walk away from Tucker before it's too late." As Nick leaves, Phyllis's confident facade fades. She knows Tucker's influence runs deeper than anyone realizes, and the evidence Nick has could destroy her comeback. She mutters to herself, "Damn it, Tucker, what have you dragged me into now?" Nikki's ambush, old grudges, new threats. Meanwhile, at the Newman ranch, Nikki Newman stands before a roaring fire, her reflection flickering in the flames. She's arranged a meeting, but not the kind anyone would expect. Victor thinks she's meeting a charity liaison. In reality, Nikki's about to ambush two people who've been making her life increasingly complicated, Audra Charles and Nate Hastings. When the door opens, Nikki greets them with a calm smile that doesn't reach her eyes. "I thought it was time we cleared the air." Audra, ever the opportunist, plays it cool. "Always happy to talk, Mrs. Newman. I didn't realize this was a formal meeting." "Oh, it's not," Nikki says smoothly. "It's personal." Nate glances at Audra, already sensing a trap. Nikki steps closer, her voice sharp as crystal. "I know both of you are trying to maneuver your way into my husband's good graces. But let me be perfectly clear, no one manipulates Victor Newman and walks away unscathed." Audra bristles. "If this is about business, Victor's perfectly capable of." Nikki cuts her off. "This isn't about business. It's about loyalty. And right now, I'm questioning both of yours." The air in the room grows icy. Nate insists he's only interested in Newman's success, while Audra pretends offense. But Nikki, who's played this game for decades, isn't fooled. She reminds them that she's survived every schemer from Jack Abbott to Ashland Locke, and that Audra's name will never be on the list of winners. Just when Audra's about to snap back, Victor's voice booms from the doorway. Is there a problem here? Nikki smoothly changes tone. Not at all, darling. Just ensuring everyone's priorities align with the family's interests. Victor studies her, then the pair in front of her, clearly catching on. Audra and Nate exchange uneasy looks as they leave, both realizing they've been warned, not once but twice. Once alone, Victor turns to Nikki. You're playing a dangerous game. Nikki meets his gaze steadily. So are they. Tucker's shadow looms large. Across town, Tucker McCall watches everything from his suite at the GCAC, literally. Surveillance footage on his tablet shows Audra leaving the ranch, her jaw tight with anger. You didn't last 5 minutes with Nikki Newman, Tucker mutters, swirling his drink. Amateurs. He's got bigger plans in motion, plans that tie together Phyllis's tech knowledge, Audra's ambition, and a risky acquisition that could dethrone Newman Media. He calls Phyllis, who answers with a weary sigh. Nick just confronted me, she says. He knows too much. Tucker's smirk is audible. Then we move faster. You still have access to Newman's communications servers, don't you? Phyllis hesitates. Tucker, if this backfires, I could lose everything. You already did, Tucker replies coldly. I'm offering you a way to get it back. The call ends, and Phyllis stares at her reflection in the bar mirror, torn between survival and redemption. Somewhere deep down, she knows Nick was right. But when it comes to Tucker, walking away is never that simple. Mariah walks in on a shocking truth. Back at Crimson Lights, Sharon is still reeling from her talk with Tessa when Mariah walks in, humming and holding a coffee for her wife. The joy fades when she sees Sharon's troubled face. What's wrong? Did something happen? Sharon pauses before saying carefully, I think you should talk to Tessa. She told me something today that changes things. Mariah's confusion shifts to suspicion. She tracks Tessa down to the patio, where Tessa's staring out the window, lost in thought. When Mariah confronts her, Tessa's eyes well with tears. I was going to tell you tonight, she says softly. About the record deal. Mariah listens as Tessa confesses her involvement with Audra and Newman Media. Her expression hardens with each word. You signed with Audra Charles. After everything she's done to this family. Tessa pleads for understanding, but Mariah feels betrayed, not just by the deal but by the secrecy. We promised no more lies, Tess. We've fought too hard to build something real. Tessa reaches for her hand, but Mariah pulls away. I don't even know who you're doing this for anymore, your music or yourself. As Mariah storms off, Tessa whispers, both. I thought I could have both. Jack and Lily join the crossfire. At Jabbit, Jack Abbott fields a call from Lily Winters, who's demanding an update about Chancellor Winter's potential collaboration with Jabbit. But the conversation quickly turns to the chaos brewing in the Newman Empire. If Victor's sniffing around the same deals we are, Lily says, we need to be careful. Jack agrees, but adds that Tucker's latest moves smell like manipulation. He's not just after Jabbit, Lily. He's after control, and he's using Phyllis to get it. That revelation stops Lily cold. Phyllis is working for Tucker again. Jack, that woman will never learn. Neither will Tucker, Jack mutters darkly. And if Victor's involved, this could turn into a corporate war before we know it. Nikki's final move. The episode ends back at the ranch, where Nikki receives a call from an unknown number. A disguised voice warns, you shouldn't have pushed them. The next move won't be yours. She hangs up slowly, realizing that her ambush may have triggered something dangerous. When Victor re-enters, she hides her shaken expression, but the audience sees it. For the first time in a long while, Nikki Newman looks genuinely afraid. As the camera pans out, Genoa City feels like a chessboard mid-game, with every player moving in secret, every alliance crumbling, and every motive concealed behind a polite smile. And if Tuesday's episode proves anything, it's this: in The Young and the Restless, no secret stays buried, no deal goes unpunished, and no one, not even the Newmans, is safe from the storm that's coming.